Hi guys! So this is my contour blush and highlight video, and my bestie requested that I make one, so I did for her. And hopefully I've broken it down and made it simple. I know some of them are a little bit more complex and long, and hopefully this one won't be too long. My technique is a little bit different than a lot of tutorials that I've seen, but it's what works for me. So here we go. And so when I usually do my contour blush highlight routine, I start with contouring just because it kind of lays the framework for where you're going to put the rest of your stuff. So I've been using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. This is just a little one that came in a kit from Sephora, but it looks like this shade, and like if you can see next to my skin, so when I put it on, I mean, you can really tell where the contour is. Brushes for contour, I mean, some people use these and they just kind of put it, you know, sweep it downward. I don't really like to use these because I feel like it's too, I think it's too big. It's like the 5 o'clock shadow thing. It's too wide. It just covers too much surface area. So I have a little brush like this. And see, it's really small and you can just pull it, you know, exactly where you want it to go. And then if you want it to be bigger, you can blend it out. Or actually, I usually use another brush that's bigger and blend it out with that. But yeah, I just prefer like a little teeny brush to do this with. Also, another good one that I know a certain bestie has is this. It's a foundation brush and it's pointed. So if you get in and find where your cheekbone is and just put the powder on and kind of pull it down, like, it's perfect. It's very narrow on the tip and it's, you know, it's pretty dense too, but it just, I think it works well. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one. Sorry, but it's my favorite. So, and I'm gonna use the Too Faced one because it matches, like I said, the best. It's not too dark, not too light, and you don't want to like overdo the brush either. I just usually go like this, just get a little bit on there, especially if you're really fair. And people say to do, no, that doesn't work for me, because I mean, I don't know if it's because the way my face is shaped or what, but it just doesn't really work that well for me. So what I like to do is I kind of look down, and when I look down, I can kind of see where a natural shadow starts to happen when I put my face downward. That sounds kind of weird, but it works. And that's like really intense. I will blend it, I promise. But I'm also doing it a little bit darker so you can actually see where I'm putting it. Okay, so then for the other side again, now I kind of haven't memorized, but when you first, I mean, you can do that, but like when I do it, the top part doesn't really sink in, so it doesn't really do anything for me. It's like more down here, and then like I said, you put it down here and it's like 5 o'clock shadow, you look sexy. So if I look down again, I kind of get a little shadow right here. You can kind of see it. So that's where I like to go for it. And I find too, to avoid the like 5 o'clock shadow thing, you don't want to go like all the way down here to your mouth. You can, like, if you're, especially if you're doing like a costumey type look or something, then you know, that's fine. It may call for that, but for every day I don't don't do that. If you take your contour like too far in to your mouth, and then if you bring it down especially, like it can make you look, that's more of like a masculine cut to your jawline and your cheekbones. So not really a fan. I have a longer face, so to make your face look shorter, I definitely always on a daily basis contour my forehead. So like way up here, and you want to make sure it blends into your hairline. You just kind of, because if you were out in the sun, it would hit up here, like the top of your scalp. And I tend to just really do like this part. And you can actually even go in the middle, just don't bring the middle down really far because that won't look right. But just kind of, I don't know, I do like kind of just a curve and kind of blend it in. And see, I can already tell on camera, like it looks a little bit smaller because I have the shading right here. So I like to do that. And then too, if you want to like slim your face, you can bring it down right here around your temples. It's all about kind of like starting at the hairline and coming forward. Just don't carry it too far forward. You can also do the sides of your nose. I don't tend to do that, you know. The jawline, like right underneath. I don't know, I think that's supposed to fix your double chin. I don't really think that it does, so I never do it. I guess it could, but I don't really do that. I just do mainly the cheekbones to slim out my face a little bit and to make my forehead look a little bit smaller. So now I'm gonna take my bigger, the brushes are exactly the same, this is just a bigger version, and I'm not pressing really hard, I'm just kind of letting the brush do its thing. And see, that looks a lot better. So then it looks really horrible before it's blended. It's like, holy what did she do to her face? Alright, and so see, if I look straight on at the camera, my face looks a little bit slimmer right there, so that serves its purpose. Okay, so after I do that and everything's all blended nicely, I do my blush. Okay, so for this look, since it's like, you know, my purpley pinky spring flower thing, I'm just gonna do a very cool light pink. And depending on how concentrated you want your blush to go on, sometimes I use like little stippling brushes like this and just do like this, because some of the blushes that I have are extremely pigmented, and because I'm very pale, a little bit can go way too far. Not just a long way, too far. So I end up looking clownish. Not pretty. So stippling brushes are nice. I just barely like dab it in here. Guys, I like these brushes for blush. I just don't like them for contour. Some people say, you know, do the apples of your cheeks. I don't like that. No offense, some people look good with it. I don't think I personally do. Like, my apples of my cheeks are kind of stick out anyway, and they're rosy-ish anyway, so yeah, I just don't. I like to put it right above where my contour is, so like that. Basically on my cheekbone. See, and there's like no blush, so it's just like color to the face, which I don't know, I just like that better personally. On to the other side. See, sometimes for blush I do the fish face. No clue why. Doesn't really make any sense. But yeah. And then sometimes, just because I have like a pinky skin tone anyways, I'll put some blush, you know, kind of all over. Alright, so after the blush is done, I would go on to highlight if I'm going to wear one. Most of the time, honestly, because my skin is oily, I don't do highlights. I own some, and some are really cool and I like them, and if I'm wearing like really full coverage matte foundation, I'll do a highlight, especially if like, you know, I'm going out or whatever, but every day, I really don't. Unless for some random reason I'm going for a glowy look, which I don't do often either, just because this texture of my skin is uneven and I tend to stay away from shimmeriness. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of shimmer. I don't even really like shimmery eyeshadow that much. It has to be really pretty. But anyway, so there is one that I really actually like that I would probably use on a daily basis. It's like a it's a creamy powder. Like, their eyeshadows are awesome. It's like a very creamy powder, and it's not really, I wouldn't say that it's even shimmery. It's not, it doesn't have like actual shimmer or glitter or anything in it like that, which a lot of highlights do. It's just more like, it's more like a soft sheen, I would say. And if you are a fan of having your skin glowy, like as light as this is, you could probably use it. I haven't tried it yet, but you could use it like all over your face and have a very nice like sheen to your face. I'm not really down with that, but one day I'll try it. But for a highlight, I really like this because it's like, it's not, I wouldn't call it a matte highlight, but it's more of a satin highlight rather than a shimmer or a metallic or something like that. So for highlights, I like to use, I would say this little brush is my favorite. It's like one of those little like tulip shaped ones. This is the e.l.f. small tapered brush. So it's a $3 brush at like Walmart and Target, wherever they have e.l.f. Also, if you have like a more extreme highlight that's more metallic or it's really pigmented, you know, you don't want it to look like a white streak on your face or something, but this is also an e.l.f. brush. It's the e.l.f. small stipple brush. So again, that same idea with super pigmented blush, use a stippling brush. This would work good for like highlight because it's very small right on your cheekbones there. So and also this came in a brush set that I have. It's supposed to be for your eye. Like, it's as big as my eye. It's freaking huge. So I don't use this for eyeshadow ever. Like, and I have pretty big eyes too. I mean, I guess it would work, but it's not the softest brush either. So, but I think it is good for highlighting because you can just put it right here or down your nose, and you know, I think it's a good highlighter brush. So I'm gonna go with my fave, the little tulip one. And since this is like super pigmented, you don't need a lot. That's probably even too much, but because it's not super shimmery, it's okay. So I just put it along the very tops of my cheekbones, and sometimes I do it like out here because it's kind of nice when the light hits. And then the other cheekbone in a C shape. And then, just for the sake of this video, down the nose. That stuff is very powdery too. But like I said, if I'm going to use a highlight at all, I really prefer this one just because it's not too much. It's not like overboard. Oh, and also if you feel like you took the contour too far down your face, just a little tip is to like take the brush you put your foundation on or your face powder or whatever. I use powder foundation, so it just go right underneath and kind of just redefine where it ends. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that it gave you some, hopefully semi-unique tips on how to get it done. And yeah. Also, there is a tutorial up for this eye look. It's called Spring Flowers. Yeah, so if you want to check that video out, I will put the link down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Damn it. Why? Fuck! Okay. Have to get my fucks out.